The next letter in the Russian or Cyrillic alphabet is мягкий знак. And like its twin твердый знак, which means hard sign, мягкий знак, and the g here is pronounced like a ch, мягкий знак. This is the soft sign, мягкий знак. No words begin with мягкий знак. It doesn't make a sound in and of itself, but it affects the pronunciation of consonants and a little bit vowels that come before it. So, мягкий знак in lowercase only. Мягкий знак is a little 6, and then it loops right out into whatever follows. If you remember our твердый знак, we had this sort of 7-6 combination. The мягкий знак is basically just the 6 without that other part. We also saw in y or yry, this first half of the letter is essentially a мягкий знак. So you can write out a few мягких знаков. You want to keep them nice, nice and looped. Notice I made a little mistake there. An important difference here is to remember that this is V. Remember this letter? V. This small one is мягкий знак. V is tall, it goes all the way up to the top line. Мягкий знак is short and only goes up to the midline. So you can write out a few мягких знаков if you're following along on the worksheet. Мягкий знак, мягкий знак. So some examples. Coming off of a low out connect, I'll give an example of a T and then a мягкий знак. Here where мягкий знак begins at the high point, I just connect straight up like that. So T. Мягкий знак. I don't want two lines here, or I might confuse it with an U, two vertical lines. So this would be a T. Мягкий знак. Coming off of a high out connect, let's bring back our V, and here we just come right up. V, we come out of the V right into the мягкий знак. So here's a good example of a V and a мягкий знак and the difference between the two. So V and a мягкий знак. So you can write out a few examples of that. Connecting into other letters, just like we saw with твердый знак, it's not a difficult letter to connect out of. Let's start with an example of a мягкий знак going into a hooked letter. So for instance, into an M, or a мягкий знак going into an L. So this is a low in connect. A мягкий знак coming into a high in connect. Maybe something like мягкий знак and then up into a P, or alternatively a P written like that. So just like with our V or our O, here you just sort of cross over this little O that you've written, and angle up and into your next letter. So this is мягкий знак, soft sign is what that means. In print, only in lowercase. In cursive, also only in lowercase.